performance in the shootout round, and he will be on the approach in bowl first. Good week for Hoskins, up on top or near the top throughout the entire week.
And you can see once again Steve Hoskins not getting too excited over a shot that really was very fortunate in the first frame.
Parker Bohn III, a win, a second last week in the Masters. Didn't do well in his home court, basically, the Petraglia, but has had a sensational 1999, and right now Marshall has to be the top choice for 1999 PBA Player of the Year.
And could not have had a worse break to open up the match, a solid 7-10. Watch the ball, it enters the pocket. Here comes the messenger, but it goes in back of the 7-pin, and the reaction from Parker Bohn has got to be stunned. Now, there were some of these made this week. Bouncing off the backboard. Here it comes. Doesn't quite knock out the 10-pin, but the kickbacks are very lively this week, Gary. Watch the 7-pin comes off the kickback and comes in front of the 10. There were 5 or 6 picked up earlier in the week.
Not an auspicious beginning. Quickly down by 11 to Hoskins.
This time the 10-pin's gone, but the 7-pin still stands. And, you know, Parker made mention last week when I talked to him at the Masters that he does not ever lose it mentally. He keeps himself in the match. The bad break is over. He's thinking in the present and to the future.
Parker's already won 2 tournaments this year.
He takes care of the 7-pin.
Well, for in-depth sports coverage with late-breaking news, updated scores and stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
Coming in light, leaving the 2 and the 4-pin for Hoskins. Really had the opportunity to take a bigger lead. He's 11 pins up right now. Hoskins on the right-hand lane. The high backswing, the solid knee bend, the good release. But not enough energy to get the ball back up to the pocket. He'll throw it hard and straight, Gary, at the 2 and the 4. Actually, he threw me a curveball, and he threw a curveball.
Steve Hoskins, an early lead. 11 pins in the 3rd frame.
Now, the extra pressure of being in the title match may have cost Hoskins in the last frame. Came in light on 27 in the first, but he struck, and same kind of shot, and every break going for Hoskins early in the match. Only 3 frames as that 10-pin fell very, very late. Ball coming in light. Is it the head pin? No, it was the 4-pin that got rerouted, and the very tip of it knocks over the 10. And the demonstrative reaction now from Steve Hoskins.
Saying goes, better to be lucky than good. Steve Hoskins, we know he's good. He may be lucky today as well.
Parker's made 3 shots. He has not received 1 break yet. Okay. Solid 8-pin as the ball ran right by the 8. Remember, these are the 3-pound, 10-ounce Brunswick Pro pins. They're supposed to be tough to knock over. His ball did not have any respect for him as he converts.
Here's Parker Bohn III last week at the American Bowling Congress Masters. He needed 2 strikes in the 10th frame to win his first major and left 4 standings, and you can see the disappointment on his face.
And, you know, if there's a knock on Parker Bohn III, you know, he's a 19-time PBA champion, but he's never won one of the current majors. Kind of like John Elway before he won his Super Bowl. To validate this man's career, a major has got to happen.
And that was his 3rd second-place finish in the Masters.
Now he comes in light, leaves the 1, the 3, the 6, the 4, the 7. Ball cut right through the 1 and the 4 pin. A spare that's makeable. Two choices here. You can either throw the ball to the right of the head pin and knock the head pin into the 4 and the 7, or you can go right between them. He's going to the right. Gets all but the 4 pin, and really got to be disappointing for Parker Bohn III early in this match.
Well, through the first 4, Parker with a couple of open frames. And Steve Hoskins on a roll, now up by 28 pins as he bowls in the 4th.
To take it to 38. Hoskins makes the great shot, and that's what you have to do as a professional. You've got to be able to take advantage of the other person's mistakes. Right now, Parker Bohn just waiting to take another turn. Got to be thinking about the bad shot he threw on lane 27. And I know when I bowled, it was very difficult to keep making good shots when you can only get 9. When you don't get rewarded, sooner or later the bad shots will creep in.
Steve Hoskins making the good shots and getting all the luck so far in the championship match.
I should say he does want this one, Gary, and a great shot from Hoskins. The eyes of Hoskins as he's watching it, staring it down, but great reaction. I want this one.
Well, coupled with Bohn's unfortunate play in majors, the 3rd seed, which Steve Hoskins is for this tournament, has won 6 of 11 shows this year.
For Parker Bohn, you know, he makes 3 good shots to open the match, swishing 7-10. Then he leaves a couple of 7 pins. Bad shot in the 4th, bad shot in the 5th. He converts.
And in all your years of bowling, when you had unfortunate things happening to you, do you get snake bitten after a while? Bohn being one of the masters of the mental game, can this cut into his mental attitude?
Well, I don't think it will at all. No, not for Parker Bohn, who still has an opportunity to shoot. Well, now it's 2-11. It's the best he can do. Parker Bohn leaving the solid 7 pins.
Parker Bohn III needs to pick up the 7, and should, and does. But Steve Hoskins has the lead in a championship match. We'll be back.
Coupled with a 5 count, couple 9.
Welcome back. Well, Steve Hoskins with a commanding lead through 5.5 frames. And Marshall, we've had 4 tournaments this year, 4 different winners, and none have been from the top seed.
Well, and Steve Hoskins, the number 3 seed this week, certainly in command. It looks like 3's the charm.
The 3rd seed has been very beneficial to 1799. And Steve Hoskins currently from the 3rd seed and up by just under 50 pins.
And Hoskins running away and hiding from Parker Bohn right now, doing what the professional needs to do, keep the pressure on his opposition. You never know what can happen as Steve Hoskins takes a re-rack on lane 27. It's his last re-rack because he's already taken one.
Well, we're going to take a week off and then begin our Western swing, and our first show out west will be from Portland, Oregon, the PBA Oregon Open coming up on Saturday, May 29th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS Sports. Steve Hoskins now in the 7th. He's working on 4 strikes in a row.
I can tell you right now, Hoskins is enjoying himself. That ball well left of his target. Got a little bit of room out there. He's certainly going to take it, and it's getting closer and closer to congratulations, Steve Hoskins time.
Bohn knows what he's up against. He's working on a spare, but he is 69 pins down.
And there it is, Parker Bohn's first strike, the championship match. And what looks like it will be too little, too late.
And as far as the number 2 goes, Marshall, the second consecutive week that Bohn will have finished second in a major.
Very difficult. I've had that happen to me, not in major tournaments, but in normal, regular PBA events, you know, back years ago where I finished second 2 weeks in a row. And it really does hurt, and it's magnified because it is a major.
Well, make that 2 strikes for Parker Bohn III.
Well, you know he's not going to quit. I mean, Parker Bohn III is certainly the consummate professional. He prides himself in keeping himself composed throughout all different situations, and right now he's testing it.
Hoskins in a zone, 8th frame, working on 5 in a row.
That's the one, baby.
I correct myself, 6 in a row.
Come on.
Now, Hoskins got enough energy for everybody in this field right now. Hoskins with the shot in the 8th frame, staring down the pins. He likes this delivery.
Yeah, that's the one, baby. That's enough.
Hoskins.
Okay.
Hoskins not having any problem adding the scores up right now. He looks over to his right, the big scoreboard, and what it says is that Steve Hoskins is just taking a victory lap right now as he finishes out the game.
He knows he's in command as he picks up the spin.
I like that shirt. Come on.
Having a little fun.
Get it.
Oh, look at that big wide open split for Parker Bohn. It's not going to make much difference right now. He's got the 2, the 4, and the 7 on the left-hand side of the lane, and the 6 and the 10 is company on the right. Very disappointing. Needs to get the ball in this area here, slide it over. Can be made. Won't make much of a difference in the match, but, you know, it really...
When the temperature drops, you've got 2 choices. Close your eyes and think warm thoughts, or open your eyes and get out here. There's only one vehicle lineup that embraces everything the cold has to offer.
With better data comes better candidates. Start hiring for free today.
He is a professional, and he's just really hard. What a great shot for Parker Bohn. Can't get too excited right now, but able to get the ball in the right spot. Picks up the difficult split. For Parker Bohn, 186 is the best that he can do.
A true competitor who will bounce back in his very next tournament.
He proved that last week, bouncing back from a tough finish at the Masters tournament to go ahead and lead this tournament. Line hard down the middle. Will that ball strike too, Steve?
I had to, so.
Almost.
Tough day for Bohn, but lucky and good, the word for Steve Hoskins. Steve Hoskins, the winner, his second Touring Players Championship victory. We'll be back.
Like and subscribe and catch
Welcome back, Steve Hoskins, the winner.